This is Caribbean News Desk. I'm Dennis Chabrol. First, the headlines. Dominicans go to the polls on December 8. Guyana's president threatens to call early general elections. CARICOM searching for money to fund Ebola war. As more persons from the Caribbean go to fight for ISIS, the region is putting that terrorist group on its agenda. Details coming up.
We are one Caribbean, one people, one nation. We'll say destiny, so separated we are. As one, let's come together. One market economy, Caribbean is how it should be. Let's support carry on for Caribbean unity. It takes you, it takes me for Caribbean unity.
Dominicans will go to the polls on December 8, 2014 to elect a new government of their choice. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt made the announcement Wednesday afternoon in an address to the nation.
I have today, Wednesday, the 5th day of November 2014, in accordance with the provisions of Section 54 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica, advise His Excellency the President to dissolve the Parliament of Dominica with immediate effect and to issue a writ for the holding of general elections. Nomination day will be Wednesday, the 19th day of November 2014. General elections and the date on which the Commonwealth of Dominica will determine its political, social, and economic future is Monday, the 8th day of December 2014.
The Prime Minister also appealed to the electorate to vote in a manner that will ensure that diplomatic relations with China, Venezuela and Morocco that are funding a number of projects in Dominica are not affected.
Continued funding for these projects will depend on the assurance from any new government of Dominica that it will not undermine relations with any of our funders or any of the 96 countries and international agencies which support our development. We therefore need to send a clear message to the external world that Dominica is a stable and reliable partner in development.
But Guyana's President Donald Ramotar has threatened to call early general elections if the opposition forges ahead with plans to debate and pass a no-confidence motion against his administration. General elections are not constitutionally due until 2016. Addressing the nation Tuesday night, Mr. Ramotar announced that a National Assembly would be reconvened next Monday for the first time since the 2-month recess ended on October 10. The Guyanese leader, however, warned that if the opposition-controlled House decides to interrupt government's parliamentary agenda and it takes steps to pass the no-confidence motion, he would call general elections.
I also wish to be clear that were this not to be so, and I am provided with reasons to believe that the parliamentary opposition intends to disrupt government's business by forcing a debate on their no-confidence motion, I resolve to respond immediately by exercising my constitutional options to either prorogue or dissolve Parliament, paving the way for holding of general elections.
The President has between now and January 31, 2015, the date of validity of the current voters list, to name a date for general elections. From all accounts, the Alliance for Change will not be giving up on the no-confidence motion, a move that can see the President making good on his threat to terminate the current session of the National Assembly until the next session is called, or dissolve it and hold fresh elections. Mr. Kemraj Ramjatan is the Alliance for Change's leader.
Of course we will. We will be pushing, and that is our top priority. We don't want his lame duck presidency to go down in history as having been aborted by the opposition. It would have been aborted by a self-induced dissolution or a self-imposed dissolution. And it doesn't make a distinction to me. The result will be the same. He has to go.
Mr. Ramcharan added that his party will only support passage of legislation to liberalize the telecommunications sector and then take steps to bring up the no-confidence motion. Opposition leader David Granger, however, framed the president for delaying the parliamentary agenda by 1 month after the parliamentary recess ended. Mr. Granger called Mr. Ramotar a coward, fearful of debating his record in office.
No, the solution to the problem again is not in the solution. The solution of the problems facing Guyana lies within a debate in the National Assembly. That's why the National Assembly is created. And if Mr. Ramotar had a problem, he should defend his record in the National Assembly. The solution is a cowardly way to deal with it by running away from the problem. It's not solving the problem.
Granger's Partnership for National Unity has already pledged to support the Alliance for Change-sponsored no-confidence motion. Leaders of the 15-nation Caribbean community, or CARICOM, have decided to mount an international lobby for money to fund an anti-Ebola regional coordinating mechanism, or RCM. The decision, which was taken at their emergency summit held in Trinidad on Tuesday, mandates the Caribbean Public Health Agency, or CARFA, to conduct national needs assessments to arrive at a budget in another month. CARFA needs at least $7 million to upgrade its laboratories. Executive Director of CARFA, Dr. James Hospitalet, says an estimated $400 million is also needed to create a rapid response unit.
I think that part of our estimates for that is that it would take something like $250,000 to have a unit of people who can respond rapidly. There are other costs, deployment costs, and that's where we were discussing some leveraging of existing platforms like the SEDEMA Rapid Response Mechanism and the Treaty for Security Assistance, which can provide airlift in case of need for rapid deployment, as well as bringing back specimens for testing. So by the end of this month, we will have a much more refined figure on that element of the cost.
Officials said that already the Caribbean Development Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank have indicated that they would provide some funds to CARFA. CARICOM Chairman Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown says regional leaders have also agreed to include Cuba in the regional coordination mechanism against Ebola.
The meeting also recognized the significant role that Cuba can play in boosting the regional response and urged that this long-standing and valuable regional partner be urgently and integrally involved in the regional response mechanism.
He says airlines will be asked to transport specimens and the teams should the need arise. While the CARICOM leader said that the threat of Ebola reaching the Caribbean is very low, they stressed that the region must be prepared to keep the deadly virus out and respond effectively in the unlikely event that it reaches here. CARICOM is paying keen attention to the Islamic State of Syria and Iraq, or ISIS. It has been attracting persons from the Caribbean to join their band of fighters. For instance, more than 50 persons from Trinidad and Tobago have reportedly traveled to Syria to fight for ISIS. Some reports say that foreign fighters are being paid about $1,000 a day. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says meetings with police commissioners and heads of intelligence agencies will be held shortly after CARICOM leaders discuss the issue again on the margins of the CARICOM-Cuba summit to be held on December 8.
I raised the issue of another global threat, that is the threat of terrorism, in particular ISIS, also called IS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. The CARICOM heads agreed that more structured discussions on this matter and security concerns will be held during the CARICOM-Cuba summit in December, and also suggested, which Trinidad has agreed to, that we set up special meetings dealing with intelligence heads as well as commissioners of police. And so I hope that CARICOM is able to take a regional stand on this issue, also that of ISIS, in the near future. I believe that we are all on the same page where this is concerned, and it will be wise to indicate this to the international community.
Bus drivers protesting against the torching of their vehicles during street demonstrations left commuters stranded for several hours Wednesday in Brazil's largest city, São Paulo. Drivers halted work between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. and used their vehicles to blockade São Paulo's 29 bus stations, snarling traffic. The buses carrying around 1 million passengers a day, according to the SPT Transit Agency. Protest leaders complained about the burning of buses during street demonstrations. Through the end of last month, at least 119 buses have been set ablaze and 795 others damaged during street demonstrations in São Paulo, spurred by a range of grievances, including police violence. Authorities registered 65 cases of vandalism against the buses in all of 2013. The Sin Motoristas union representing the drivers demands a commission of inquiry with representatives from government agencies to find a solution to the problem. Bus driver John Carlos Suarez Brownlow suffered burns in one such attack on October 18 and died 4 days later. Trade ministers of the Caribbean Community or CARICOM will meet this week in Guyana to discuss the creation of a Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy. During Thursday's meeting, CARICOM's Council for Trade and Economic Development will continue discussions on the structure of the planned center and the selection of a host country. The center will be under the supervision of CARICOM's Energy Policy Division. CARICOM is a regional organization formed by former European colonies in the Caribbean. Most of the members fall into the category of small island developing states and are facing the challenge of becoming more self-sufficient in energy. The mission of the Council for Trade and Economic Development is to evaluate, promote, and establish measures to enhance production, quality control, and marketing of industrial and agricultural commodities so as to ensure their international competitiveness. Several Caribbean islands will share a €20 million or $25 million grant from the European Union to strengthen their national disaster management programs. The Antigua and Barbuda government announced on Wednesday that the funding will be disbursed over the next 5 years. It is expected that the EU aid will be used to strengthen critical infrastructure to make it more resilient in the face of natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, and floods. The flash flooding which occurred in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well as St. Lucia last December, according to Antigua and Barbuda government, should be a wake-up call for the Caribbean. Head of the EU delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Michael Barfield, said that it should send a strong signal that the region should be prepared not only for the hurricane season, but for any disaster-related eventuality. The grant will be divided among Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Suriname, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago.
We are 15 states with a common goal, a unified purpose to face the world, enriching lives, empowering people, creating a strong economic region. No matter where you're from, no hassle, just freedom. Whether business, school, or pleasure, we will benefit together. The CARICOM single market, good for you and me. The CARICOM single market, good for you and me. We CARICOM single market, good for you and me, oh yeah!
And that's it for Caribbean News Desk for today. Don't forget you can visit us on our website at caribnewsdesk.com or on our Facebook page at facebook.com/CaribNewsDesk. We are also on Twitter at twitter.com/DemWaves. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dennis Chabrol. Do have a good evening.